Hi, my name is Reggina. I am 17 years old, almost 18, and I have been studying English for a really long time. I think it started when I was about like 6 years old, and well, I have done a few international exams, and that's what I'm here today for. I'm going to talk about a few strategies to prepare for exams and to study. Um, so yeah. First of all, for example, for the reading test, obviously one of the things you can do is to read a book, I don't know, whatever you want to read, a comic, for example, but do it obviously in English. And well, getting books here in English is really, really complicated and really expensive, I know. But you can always download them from the internet. I know it's not quite the right thing to do, but we all do it. So yeah. Another thing you can do, for example, this one that covers both reading and listening, is that when you're watching a series or a movie, you put both the subtitles and obviously the audio in English. So you're like studying both things at the same time. And this is really useful for like visualizing all the word, because you get to see how it's written, how it sounds, the pronunciation, so everything. Then we have writing, and writing it's a bit more difficult because the only thing you can really do is write. Like maybe choose a topic you enjoy, something you would want to share, and start writing about it, and then take it to maybe your teacher to correct it, to see what errors you had. This also, everything helps with vocabulary, for example. Everything you do helps with vocabulary. I think lastly we have the oral test. For the oral test, my recommendation is for you to talk. I know how it sounds, but maybe talk alone. Like if you're doing something, you have to describe what you're doing, and that way you get to be more flowy with the way you speak. It also helps with confidence, because speaking in English, it's really a lot about confidence. It's horrible. I struggle a lot with it, especially when you're nervous, because you don't really know what you're doing. You feel all nervous and like sweaty and all. So talking with yourself, describing what you're doing, maybe if you have a close friend or a family member who knows English, you can talk with them, you can have a conversation, and that way is really helpful for studying for the oral test. Also, songs are really useful, because if you know the lyrics, you can, and you like to sing or whatever, you can also learn from pronunciation how they pronounce words, how they are written too. So songs, music, it's also very, very useful for studying. That was basically all the advices I had about how to prepare to study for an international exam. And these exams, they sound like really something so big, so controversial somehow, but actually they are pretty tedious. You get out of the exam and you're exhausted. It's really long, like really long hours. It's all timed by the professors. You have people like teachers in the classroom that are monitoring what you're doing, if you're cheating and all of this. I have never seen someone who dared to cheat on an international exams. At least they didn't get caught. I never saw anyone getting caught cheating. But yeah, they are pretty normal standard exams. there's really nothing to feel nervous about. I think for me the worst part is the oral test, because you have to communicate with others, and sometimes for example, obviously sometimes you know your partner and sometimes you don't. Both actually, I was really lucky because both times that I did international exams, I knew my partner that was with me in the oral test, so I was really lucky. I wasn't so nervous as if I were to be talking with a stranger. So yeah, but they're really boring. There's nothing really special about them, but they are useful for the future. You always have to keep that in mind. English is really useful for the future, even if we don't really like it, even if you don't enjoy it. It's useful. It's going to be good for you, for your this thing when you are applying for a job. It will look amazing there. I don't know how it's called, but it will look amazing. So yeah, I hope I was of help somehow. Probably you have already heard all these advices before, because actually we always repeat the same strategies, because there is no other way to study for this, because it's always the same. For example, with the mocks, the mock is the exact exam you're going to have when you do the actual international exam. It's exactly the same, just like a new one. You're doing a new mock. That's something that I have noticed that a lot of people don't understand. Mocks are an example of the exam you're going to have. So is when you're in the exam, it's just like doing a new mock, and that's it. Well, I hope I was of help. I hope. I really do. So yeah, bye.